what we see now is a group warm-up for an exercise-based cardiac rehab programme. Within the warm-up, you will see 3 gears referred to as levels. Level 1 being the mobilisation section, through to level 3, where you will see participants using arms and legs to increase the effort level. Throughout the warm-up, participants will be encouraged to move their feet, so any time where there is a change in activity, their feet will be maintained in movement. In between each gear, they will be asked to walk around the room. Please note that all participants have had prior instruction on how to rate their perceived exertion against the Borg 6 to 20 scale. They have been asked to anchor their upper and lower levels. They will finish the warm-up with a stretch, and during the stretches they will be asked to keep their feet moving.
Let's start with a few hints and tips for when you're delivering the warm-up. Always arrive early. The room should be well prepared, free from any trip hazards, and the equipment needs to be checked. By doing this preparation, it will give you time to welcome the people who are taking part, check they are dressed appropriately, and ensure they have read the pre-exercise checklist. Check your own exercise technique is correct and well executed. If you're performing the exercise poorly, this will be interpreted by the participant and may result in an injury. The group will be of mixed abilities and functionality. Do give constant teaching points and alternatives. This will give the individuals permission to adapt the intensity as appropriate to them. Ensure that you can see everyone and they can see you. Consider the use of music. Should you use it or not? Music can overmotivate, prevent self-pacing and may dominate. Also, some participants with orthopaedic limitations may not be able to keep up with the beat. Do be sensitive to the fact that many of the class will have age-related hearing loss, and that means some essential teaching points could well be lost.
Hello, we're here to do an exercise-based group warm-up suitable for a cardiac rehab class. As you know, we're going to be working across 3 levels. Level 1 is the mobility section. Level 2 will increase the heart rate a little bit, and level 3 will add in both our arms and our legs. You know we've already had a discussion about your rating of perceived exertion, and you know that where your rating should be within this warm-up, and you also understand that we're going to keep our feet moving throughout. So we're going to start with positioning our posture, so our feet are just underneath our hips, shoulders back and down, ears over our shoulders, and your knees soft. Keep your belly button lightly pulled in towards your back, and that's your posture throughout. First of all, let's start with a march, very light marching. So gentle marching, an option to hold on to the chair if you need to throughout all of this warm-up. Start with just tapping your toe forward to the floor in front and keeping your heel up. That's it, supporting leg soft, excellent, and just relax your arms. Perfect. Can we do 3 more? 3, 2, and let's march back on the spot. Light march. Sit. And from there, the next move we're going to do is a little bit deeper. So you're going to take your heel down. That means bending your knee a little bit more. Sit. Toe up towards the ceiling. Perfect. And again, that option to hold on if you need to. And back to march. Excellent. So from this one, we move gently into lifting the knee up, which means that you're just coming off the floor, and there's a little bit of balance involved here, so you can use your hands if you need to. Option to just lift the knee slightly, or you can lift it all up towards hip height. Supporting leg soft, and if I turn sideways on, that's the option just to keep it low. Are we all right? Feeling fine? And back to a light march now. Relax your arms, your shoulders. I'm going to turn sideways on for the next move, but stay where you are. I'm going to tap one toe behind me and extending the leg, and in your own time join in. Okay, that's the end of gear 1 or level 1. And now go for a walk around the room. I'll go in the opposite direction from you. So this time we are moving into level 2, gear 2. That's it. Excellent. And then come back to centre. So this time we're moving on to level 2. Now level 2 means we use some of the arms. So let's go back to the toe tap in front and add an arm. So the same arm and the same leg out in front. Toe tap. That's perfect. It's a little bit more complicated when we add the arms and legs. And then march again. So end of level 2 or gear 2. Let's go for a walk around the room again. Perfect. So you should feel as though you've started to move the body and you're feeling as though your breathing rate's going up slightly. So the first one is to go back to your heel dig, but this time both arms out in front. Sometimes that's easier to coordinate, but it's more energy because you've got more arms, you've got more muscles in there. And come back to a march and just march on the spot. If your arms and your shoulders are getting tired, again, take either, you can use one arm or no arms, just by your side. Well done. That's the end of level 3 or gear 3. Take a walk around the room. Keeping your feet moving throughout this section is important. We're now moving on to the stretch section. We need to make sure the feet move between each of the static stretches to maintain that level of breathing rate, pulse rate, heart rate. Nice posture, and can we feel the stretch in the back of our calf muscle and our leg? Bend your knees slightly if you want to. Can we feel it now? Good, excellent. And then gently come out of that and have a march and change legs. Next stretch. You're just going to take one leg forward in front of you and hands on your supporting leg as you push back to stretch up the back of the leg, the hamstring. Now, go for a walk around the room. We need to keep our feet moving because we're going to be moving into the conditioning phase of the exercise class. Thank you.
So just why is it important to conduct a 15-minute warm-up? Coronary arteries need time to dilate to allow increased blood flow necessary to meet myocardial oxygen demands during exercise. Coronary blood flow will increase as the coronary arteries dilate in response to 3 mechanisms. Firstly, due to increased metabolic activity through a build-up of a number of metabolic byproducts. Secondly, due to endothelial vasodilators, for example nitric oxide. And lastly, to a lesser degree, increased sympathetic activity. The warm-up should be a minimum of 15 minutes, including pulse-raising movements. When exercise is strenuous and abrupt, the myocardium will be transiently ischemic until coronary arteries have dilated. Gradual incremental pulse-raising will prevent ischemia, angina, and the potential for arrhythmias. So what about mobility movements? It is important to emphasise the significance of a gradual progression of range of movement for older adults. While performing mobilising moves, you need to integrate pulse-raising activities to maintain an elevated heart rate. If you're working statically, for example, thoracic spine mobilisation, wiggle the toes to maintain venous return. Preparatory stretches can also be considered. Evidence for the benefits of preparatory stretching isn't equivocal, but it's certainly not a bad thing to do. If preparatory stretches are performed, they can either be performed dynamically or as short static stretches, held no more than 6 to 8 seconds. When preparatory stretches are included, a rewarm needs to be performed before the group starts the conditioning component. 2 to 3 minutes of simple pulse-raising moves will be enough to ensure heart rate is appropriate for beginning the main component.